How do you get your first paying client in freelancing? Now that's a question to which most of the freelancers around the world are searching answer to. That how can we lead to the very first client that will pay us for our skills? So before even I get to the answer of this question, I would like to share a story of mine that how did I got my very first client who was paying me a sum of $300. So this is a story back in 2012 when I started to learn programming, and I was in my college and 12th grade specifically, so not into engineering also. So I started to learn programming and I knew a little bit of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So that was all the basic skill set, and I was not even that very good in all these programming languages or the scripting languages that I was learning. So I was not even that good. I have just started to learn these languages and I knew a little bit of all, and at that very moment I was just a beginner. I can say that I was just 2 out of 10. So that was my initial reading, what I can say I was in 2012. But it was around 2012 and I started to distribute this idea and distribute this message around all the people, in my friends, in my family and all the neighborhood and everyone, that I know programming, I can build websites, and if there is certainly someone who needs a website, they can contact me and I will be able to help them out to build a website. So it was 2012. Website building was not a very easy task. I do understand that. Now in 2023, it's a really easy job that can be done by anyone. So in 2012, it was really one of the really complex jobs, but I knew nothing about it. I was just learning. So eventually I started to spread the idea among everyone that yeah, I know this, like I know website development, I'm a website developer, and basically I know just the basics of that. So eventually, after spreading this message in all the people I knew in my locality, in the people I knew in my friend circles and the family and friends and everyone, one day one of my friend called me and said that there is one person, there is an construction, like there is a person who is into constructions and he want to get his website developed. So and he asked me like, would you be happy to make it? So yes, I said obviously I'll be happy to make it. I know programming and I can pretty much make it happen. So I went I went to his office and then I contacted him and he asked me like, have you ever made any website? So I said no, I have no idea, like I have not made any website. So eventually at that very point of time I had no portfolio, no prior experience, and I can say I didn't even had the complete idea as what website development will go through all the processes, like what is hosting, what is domain, and how what is even the difference between static and a dynamic website. So I had no idea about anything. I just knew a little bit of HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and I thought that I can make this website. Pretty much huge ambitious dreams. But yeah, definitely I went to his office. We had some talks. He asked me like, actually he said, okay, I give you a chance. If you can make the website, do make it. So what will be your charge? So I said it will be around $300. So converting that into Indian currency, so I'm just trying to, that was into Indian currency around $20,000, 20,000 rupees, not dollars, sorry for that. So it was a deal of around $300 in 2012. So that was a pretty good deal, by the way. So when we had all the discussions done, then I finally said to him that what would you like to have your website name called as? That is the domain name, what would you like to be? So give me some ideas about it, give me some 3 to 4 names so that I can search it and I can let you know that whether I can help you out with the good name for yourself. So he gave me some 3 to 4 names, and later on, and I went at home and I did some research, like how can I make the website. I got some templates on different websites, like I searched for theme forest. I knew about theme forest, then there was template monster, one website. So I searched for website templates online and I got some templates and I downloaded them and I started to have an idea and a research, and then I went back to him and showed him the work, like these are the designs through which we can go. So you can select a particular design, whichever you like. So in that we will start with the work. So basically what I was trying to do at that very moment of time, because he wanted just a static website, it was just a portfolio website and nothing more than that. He needed nothing of an complex job to be done. That was nothing logical. So it was a really simple website that was just for the portfolio business. Like he just wanted to be online and that's it, and nothing was to be done on that website. So I just downloaded a template and I showed it to him. He selected one of the templates and he liked the design, so I started editing that template and I made the website finally for him. So in that very way I made, and at that very moment of time, even I didn't know about hosting and I didn't know about domain purchase, and I had nothing idea because there was no brand name also what I was carrying around with me. So ultimately he paid me the $300 and I was really happy because I was not into my engineering also. I was just in my 12th standard, so 12th grade. So I was really happy to get that first $300 payment for myself. And that was the first payment the client that I got for freelancing. And this is how I landed to my first client. And let me share you the story as how did it proceeded. So leading to some months, see, I was not into hurry because freelancing is something that I recommend to people to start at to the very initial point. You are learning something, start freelancing. So because when you start freelancing, you get to learn something more always. Whenever you're dealing with a client, you always get to deal and know something more what you already know. Like like in my first project I got to know what is hosting, how can I upload the files to hosting, how can I get a domain name, how can I connect my domain name to hosting. So these were some new concepts that I was coming across. So whenever you are starting to get your first client, before so don't learn everything and start to search for a client. So that's a really idea that I don't think so that works. So start at to a very initial stage. And moving on next, after a certain period of time, because he liked my work, he gave me a referral. So I got a next client. So within 3 to 4 months, and I was not into a hurry because I was still learning. So I was not at all in hurry. So that is how I got my second client. And then I started to spread the message a little bit more, and I started and I created a website that was my portfolio website. And then through some ads on Google, I got another website client, then another website client, and then eventually I stopped the advertisements. So if I let you know that about web advertisements or promotions, I'm really unsecure about them, because the reason for that is I don't believe on advertisements. If someone likes my work, they will eventually come down to me. So 80 to 90% of work what I have done till date is all through referrals or mouth publicity. What I will suggest you, and mark my words, spread the message that you are a website developer or whatever skill set you have, that you do certain work inside your community. So you must be having some friends, you must be having some of your family members. Spread the idea, spread the message that yeah, you're doing something. Like for example, if you're a video editor, spread the message that you are a video editor and you'll be happy to help people who wants to get their video done. If you're a website developer, spread the message that you are a website developer, you'll be happy to help someone if someone wants to get a website done. So spread this message. As soon as you spread this message, and wait for some time, be patient, because if you lose patience, you won't get your first paying client. Because most often what we think is that if I spread the message within 1 or 2 days of time, I will get a client. So it doesn't happen that way. It has never happened that way for me. So have some patience inside of you, wait for some time, and eventually you'll get one client that will be ready to pay you. And even though you have zero portfolio, even though if you have zero experience, but you can get a client if you are happy to help him. And one thing guys, I will really suggest you, don't be ready to sell, right? Don't be ready to sell, rather be ready to help. So you need to help the person, whoever is your first client. Don't sell him a product. Most often what happens is that people go ahead and sell them a website. I have never sold a product to someone. I have always helped a person to get rid of out of a problem. And when you help the person to get rid of a problem, they always remember you next time, and they always give you another paying client. So that's how the referrals work. When you're ready to work and help them for their problems, never sell a product to them. Like for example, why do they need a website? Ask them, why do you need your website? So is it for promotions? Is it just for a business purpose? So why do they need it? Ask them this question, like what's the purpose of having so and so things. Like for example, if you're into design industry, ask them, why do you want to get this created? And try to help them solve their problem, because every person, whenever they buy a product or whenever they buy a service, they buy it because they have a problem. And if you can fix the right problem with the right product, they will always come back to you. But if you cannot solve their problem, just give them a product and they will never come back to you. Like for example, I review a lot of products, and if someone is asking me for a earbud, I would like to ask them, like, would you like it for to have it for music, or would you like to have it for voice calls? So what would you like to have it for? If you would like to have it for music, I would suggest some different earbuds, and if you would like to have it for voice calls, there would be some different earbuds. So depending upon the problem you're trying to solve, the products change. So always try to solve the problems, and you will always get a referring new client. Like you'll always get a referral client again. So that's how the entire freelancing works, and that's how I made it. So most of my clients turn out to give me one another client. So that's how you can also do it, my friends. So that's all the takeaway message. And if you've got any questions, any problems, any thing in your mind, do comment it down below, or directly DM it to me at the rate ProgramHub is my Instagram handle. You can directly DM it to me at the rate ProgramHub. So I'll be happy to help you out. So that's it for the day, and meet you in next episode. Till that, goodbye.